Hello and welcome to Coffee with Carey. A little spicy. By spicy, I mean hot. So thanks for stopping by today, being here to be a part of the conversation. Today, I'm going to share 10 things to, how did I phrase it? 10 things to never say on a first date. This is for both genders. So first you have to remember that people share details of their dates and things people say because I've set them up, I've selected the match, and they have to leave me feedback. And sometimes that feedback is very specific and even shares things that the other person said that they thought were strange or overstepped boundaries or scared them or they thought was a little too much. Lots of different reasons these things have come up in conversations. I'm going to share 10 of them with you today. If you're new here, by the way, I'm Carey, matchmaker, dating coach, and I have this YouTube channel here. We talk about dating, relating, all things relationships and dating. So that's what's on the agenda today. 10 things you just never want to say on a first date. I'm going to be using my phone here because I actually wrote out some things that people have said or really just illustrate my point. Number 1, I just thought you should know I have herpes. No. I'm a little kinky. I thought you might want to know that up front. I used to be really, really wild, if you know what I mean, but I've settled down. Your sexual history is not first date fodder. No matter how many partners you've had, how many people you've dated, what you like to do or not, that's not anything you're going to be discussing with someone you've just met. You're not going to talk about your relationship and why it was great or why it failed. Old relationships, sexual history, not appropriate on first dates. That's number 1. Number 2, I suffer from anxiety and depression, but I'm on medication. It's all totally under control. I actually had a date go out, and the feedback was my client said, we both suffer from anxiety. We take the same medication, but I take 3 milligrams and she takes 10. I'm a little concerned about that. I was like, why are you talking about your mental health, your health in general, and your medication on a first date? Are we really thinking that that's romantic or sexy? I think not. People have to earn the right to our private information, our personal stuff. Is this anything to be ashamed of? Absolutely not. But is it first date conversation? Again, absolutely not. Once this person knows us better, has earned trust in our life, we know we can share things and we kind of have an idea of how they will take the things that we want to share that are more personal or private, that's when we share it. And definitely not on a first date. Oh my God, my ex-girlfriend, she was totally a crazy bitch. Oh, really? My ex, total narcissist. Does this sound familiar? I guarantee if you've been on 10 dates this year, somebody has told you that their ex-girlfriend is a crazy bee, and somebody has said that they were married to or dating a narcissist. It's almost become a cliche at this point, and, people are going to think, oh, if things don't work out with me, are they going to be like talking badly about me to people they meet in the future? They can see that. They don't want to hear you talking negatively about anyone on a first date. And honestly, it can't be true that most men were dating raving crazy bitches before we came along and that 80% of the population are narcissists. I'm not saying it hasn't happened to you, but it can't be happening as often as people are saying these things out loud and to other people. Trust me that it's not going to have the impact that you may think. I don't know what you think it might have, but it's not going to have the effect that you are imagining if that is positive. And I'll remind you that talking poorly about your ex says much more about you than it does about the person you were with. Because you have to keep in mind, you chose that person. Something to think about. Number 4, do you date often? How many people have you met from this app? So how long have you been single? Don't talk about dating while you're dating. It's meta. That's what meta means. It means redundant. It's doing something while you're doing something is meta. Talking about relationships when you're starting a relationship, very meta. Not going to bring you closer to somebody else. Not going to help create a bond or a relationship with this person. Don't talk about other men and women, and just don't even talk about how your dating life's going. There are much more interesting things to talk about and learn and share funny stories about that aren't so cliche and everybody's dating who's on a date. It's like, you don't need to know that stuff. It's not going to work to your benefit. Number 5. Oh, I'm so sorry I'm late. I just had a horrible day at work. You need to leave your day behind you. You need to take a moment at the threshold to wherever you're meeting this person and remind yourself that whatever crummy things happen during the day, they're on the outside of that door. The person you're meeting is inside this door, and you're going to focus to be able to bring the most positive, interested version of yourself on this date and leave all the stress, anxiety, and crappiness from your day outside. It'll be there when you get back after the date. Hopefully not. Hopefully a little time, a little distance will help it dissipate, but it's not going to solve anything to bring that energy onto your date. You want to be able to be your best self on this date and not let a crummy day impact the impression you make or how you get to know this person. Number 6. Oh, can I taste your fish? Too soon. Number 7. Oh, I'm so sorry. I've got this stain on my shirt. Right. I apologize for my hair being such a mess. I don't usually look like this. No excuses. You knew you were going on a date. Plan like a grown-up for that date. Take precautions so that you're not stuck with a shirt that has stains on it. Date night, you're going to work if you're going straight after. I have clients bring another set of clothes so that they're not even showing up in their work clothes they wore all day. I want them to feel fresh. I don't want them to feel like they're in business mode. I want them to wear something that makes them feel super confident, not the way they do in their job, but the way they do in their personal life. In all honesty, clothes matter. And not because it's fashionable or what people think, but it's because of how they make you feel. I'm assuming this date is not a pop-up and that you knew you had a date, so allow an extra little bit of time. Have a little cushion so that you have time to refresh and fix whatever needs fixing or fix your hair. Get to the restaurant a few minutes early and stop in the ladies' room to freshen up a bit. Speaking of being late or early to the restaurant, number 8. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I am not usually late. You know what? Be responsible. Be a grown-up. Be on time. And that means being 10 minutes early. Number 9. Order whatever you want. I've got the bill. I make great money. And in fact, I actually just bought my dream car. We're not impressed. We think you're a bit of a braggart, and it's probably a turnoff. And we can really just hear what our friends and family are going to say when if we introduce you to them. And we don't want to have to defend you so early in a relationship before we even really know you. I know you're trying to put your best foot forward and maybe impress somebody a little bit. It never works the way you think it's going to. Just be yourself, the best version of yourself, the one who's not trying to force a connection, but just somebody who's truly interested in getting to know the other person. That's your best bet. Oh, I knew I should have ordered the other appetizer. I never like what I order. No negativity on a date, no pessimism on a date. In fact, your whole life would be better if you could learn to reframe that negativity and be able to spin it in a positive manner so that you can look at things positively and say, I'm so glad that I ordered this because now I have learned that my favorite appetizer is shrimp, not bruschetta, and that from now on I'm ordering shrimp all the time because I can be assured that I love that. That's a silly example, but it's an interesting way of finding a positive in a negative situation, and it will make you more appealing. Negativity really has no place on a date. We're trying to bring all our positive stuff with us. Not somebody else, not another version of ourselves, but all of our best self. And in conclusion, I think you probably thought I was going to say politics. But you know what? I think you should talk about politics before your first date. I think that is what a phone call or a video chat is for, getting your values sorted out, making sure that you're on the same page, that your values are aligned. Whoa, how about this abortion thing? That's really a hot topic these days, huh? You've got to have a conversation with this person to make sure that you're living in the same universe, in the same reality, that you're going to see some of the major issues in the same way so that you can relate on these things, kind of on the same page about a lot of the things that are important to you. before you drive across town, have to use gasoline, find parking, get in there and put on your smiling face no matter what was going on with your day. You might as well just get that taken care of ahead of time. I hope you found that fun, interesting, helpful. If you did, please give the episode a thumbs up. I'd love for you to come back. So if you'd subscribe and then hit that ring bell, then you're notified every time a new episode goes live. Appreciate you stopping by today. Until next time, have a good one.